Hello and welcome to our two most powerful applications for the entire semester. We can return to these applications for the rest of the semester because so much depends on normal distributions and Gosset student t-distributions. So let's take a look. If you need to, you can always zoom in to make these graphs larger. So let's take a look at the normal distribution calculator. So if you know that you've got a normal distribution, you can use this. You simply click in the mean box. You can put in any value there. So let's change those just to show that we can. Let's find a probability that we are outside of a lower bound of 45 and an upper bound of 60. So there's the probability that we are below 45, above 60, with a mean of 50 and a standard deviation of 5. All of these allow us to change those values so that we can put in pretty much anything we like and compute those probabilities. Also allows us to compute inverse normal probabilities. Remember there, what we're interested in doing is seeing what the boundaries are. So here is our boundary in green that contains 65% of the data to the left. We could also say to the right, and maybe we want 65% again, and there's our boundary. We could look at inside, in which case we have two boundaries. We could look outside, again, two boundaries. We're containing 65% of the data in that shaded region. The second calculator is our Gosset student t calculator. And notice the only thing different is that it allows you to put in the degrees of freedom. So let's say the degree of freedom was 15, relatively small, and certainly a reason to use the student t-distribution. Let's put in different values for the mean and the standard deviation, just to remind ourselves that we can use this calculator to find an inverse probability. So here is the boundary if we want to contain half of the data to the right of the mean. That certainly makes sense. Left tail, same thing. Now let's click on probability. If we want the upper bound to be, let's say, 52, then we've captured half and then a little bit more up to 65% of the data. So all this allows you to enter the information that you've got and see a graph to confirm that what you're asking and the numbers that you've been given make sense. So an extraordinarily powerful way of dealing with the remainder of the semester.